I'm Renee Richell, the founder and president of One True Match. I'm here to help you find and cultivate the love of your life. For over a decade, I've dedicated my life to the importance, purpose, and dynamic of human relationships. My team and I are disciplined by faith, love, and integrity to help our clients find the quality relationship they've always dreamt of. Each week, I will be sharing the tools and tips I've learned that have rooted my success as a matchmaker with other leaders around the world.
Hello, loves. Welcome back to part 2 of what we talked about last week. So if you haven't watched last week, plug in because we talked about the 8 signs a man is in love with you. And today, part 2 is we're going to actually speak on more to our men, I guess, to know when a woman is truly in love with you. I think these are all really great tips that's so important to know. Whether it is that you're starting to date, you're in a relationship, you're really starting to prepare yourself to date when you're actually out there. But I'm going to share 8 tips for you to know truly if a woman is in love with you. Let's go. So 8 signs a woman is in love with you. I feel like it's a pretty obvious when we were going through this and surveying it and getting a bunch of answers from not only our candidates, our clients, just in general, asking people, and then all of us as matchmakers sitting around throwing out what our 8 signs are that we see constantly. Number 1 is that a woman is in love with you when she is happy and she just has this glow about her. Like she can't stop smiling and she's just happy and everything just like blossoms around her. And it's because that powerful effect that you have on her that even her coworkers, her friends, her family get to witness and say to you, oh my gosh, she's so in love with you because they see that. And who knows you better than to see your, a woman shine in a way that typically, we're always pounding pavement, we're getting stuff done, but where you can really distract that woman to be able to be happy and just glow. Number 2, I would say we came up with is that she spends time with you and wants to see you. Now, that seems kind of like an obvious, but just like everybody's time is very precious and valuable, a woman's schedule is insanely booked for somebody that you're probably interested in, that has an active life, that is also living out their purpose, that you're going to be drawn to. The fact that she's putting any time in her calendar to spend time with you and also prioritize her schedule to see you, that is such a huge sign that she is either madly in love with you or she is falling in love with you. Number 3, I would say that she includes you in her life. So, we all know that you should never introduce anybody new to your kids or anything like that too soon. And I also give this advice all the time to not only our clients or matches, but in general talking to people, is I think the first 3 months of dating somebody, you should really spend that time figuring out, are they going to be somebody in your life that you see moving further along to get to a point where you're madly in love with them, that you would want to share them with your friends and family. So I always tell everybody when they start dating, there's like this 9-month kind of hibernation phase that all couples go through. The first couple of months should be just figuring out who the two of you are to be able to grow as a couple, to see, will we make it to the 3rd or 4th month? Do our goals align? Are we compatible not only just for now, but also in the future because of the conversations that we've had? But then also starting to meet your friends and she starts including you in her life, to invite you to a party or a gathering or something where she would show off that she's proud to have you in her life. Number 4, and it's funny because we were all kind of trying to think of the order of this, but this is how the rankings came up when we were all discussing this topic and having it to present it, is that number 4 is that she dresses up for you. This sounds like a complete obvious, right? And especially when you're going out on a 1st, 2nd, 3rd continuous date, right? You should always be dressing up for your man. But here's what happens that we see consistently over time is people get comfortable or they get lazy or they think, oh, whatever, right? Like they've seen me, let's just go. It doesn't matter. And I'm not sitting here saying you can't have those just dates where it's like both just got off the couch and it's like, let's just go out and have fun, right? You don't have to be all glammed up. You don't have to be, all made up on every date. But even the laid back kind of dates or more of the casual dates, women, ladies, if you're not doing this, it's so important that just like in the beginning, you put in that effort to dress and to feel sexy and to feel classy as well, but to attract your guy. I can't tell you how many relationships that we talk to or couples that zest starts to fade because, ladies, we've kind of either let ourselves go or we're not bringing our best, and we're not also dressing not only for ourselves to feel amazing and confident and sexy and beautiful and all the things God's designed us to be, but we're also not doing it for our man anymore. So it's really important that we continue and that a woman dresses up for you. So pay attention to these things. Another thing, which is number 5, that she also doesn't want to change you. So remember, especially, and I'm talking to both, I feel like men and women, depending on who's listening to this, but it's really important that, just like a man sees us who we are, and vice versa, we see a guy who they are in the beginning, that we don't try to change them. We have to accept somebody for who they are. Now, I know the littlest tweaks of maybe you'd prefer a man more in a sports coat than you do in a polo shirt, or maybe you're somebody that prefers them in a polo shirt over a sports coat. Those are little tweaks that are too easy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a woman is in love with you when she doesn't want to change you. So there's so many conversations we'll have with people and they'll just say, oh, I just wish they would do this a little bit more. I wish they would do that. And everybody has a tendency to want somebody to be better. But if we're changing them from who their true identity is, and we started shifting those things down the road, that is a recipe of disaster. So it's really important that who we present ourselves to be, that we mirror and strive to continue that entire existence of who we are so that the relationship doesn't go up and down. And the only thing that's going high and low is maybe just things in life, but you're navigating them through together because you're truly being true to who you are and you don't want to change somebody. Number 6 is that she cares about your friends and family. So if you're in a relationship and they are not getting along with their family or they're not getting along with your friends, especially, I don't care if it's the beginning, middle, end, or whatever, it is so important that who you're with and to be able to tell that a woman is in love with you, that she is embracing your friends, that she's texting, she's communicating, she's asking, when can we get together? Let's do this with them. She wants to be a part of your world and really care for them. And truly, the littlest things like maybe write a note or a text or, on holidays or birthdays that she's asking, when is your friend's birthday, or when is this, so that you guys can all celebrate together, and really paying attention to those details, your kids' lives, asking about your children and starting to really paint that picture of what your life is together and practicing that. Number 7 is that she wants to be your best friend. Now, we get this all the time from the male's perspective because men will say, I don't want to get into the friend zone, right? I don't want to be in the friend zone. Well, when it comes to 8 signs that women are in love with you, a woman does want a best friend, and a man should want a best friend too. Now, the difference between a friend and then obviously somebody that becomes your forever mate that you marry and you're with for the rest of your life is obviously there has to be that romance for sure, right? It has to be that attraction and all those other things. But it's so important. And when we say a best friend, it's important to find somebody that you can talk to freely about anything and encourage them and express like gratitude and come up with ways. Like if a woman is truly in love with you, she will find any excuse to want to be with you, which is partially part of, if you think about it, that best friend feeling where you want to spend time with that individual, or where you get excited about being with them, when you come up with ideas. And so it's really important that you think about number 7, that is the woman that you are, that's in love with you, does she also treat you like a best friend would? And number 8, I would say that she can be vulnerable with you because she trusts you and that she genuinely knows that you listen. And we said this also on the flip side with the guys, but it is so important. The recipe for success forever is great communication. It's being in a safe place where you can be vulnerable with each other. And if you're in a relationship where you don't feel that you can just freely speak or be vulnerable, there's many times in relationships we kind of give the preliminary, I would say, preventative medicine, or just the preventative details of maybe what we're going to discuss, or just share with them, I've kind of got something, like, before you say anything. I know in our office we're doing it all day long just to be like, okay, wait, let me just make sure this is the right time to share this. And it's also telling somebody in a way where it's like, okay, please don't put your walls up to say no already, but, just hear this out, where you can truly be vulnerable and genuinely listen to what somebody's saying. So today's podcast is about 8 signs a woman is in love with you. I hope the woman that you are with, or if you are the woman in love with the man, that you are practicing, and if you're the man receiving these 8 signs, then you are in the right relationship, and you will continue to thrive if you remember just these 8 simple signs that you continuously do throughout your relationship. And there's so many more, of course, but we wanted to limit it to something that you can remember and hopefully walk away with, knowing that you are thriving for this, or you are feeling this, or you are in a situation where you're like, I'm not getting any of this. So it's not you, it's not me. We're just not meant to be. Like, hold out for the woman that is showing you these signs that she is truly in love with you, and stop chasing somebody that may not show you that she is in love with you to this level of interest and doing these things for you, because God has made somebody out there for everybody. And the goal is to find somebody that's your true match, that truly will be there through all the phases of life and always be growing in your relationship. I so appreciate and love it when everybody writes in, and we hope that you have found these tips beneficial and helpful. Please share with anybody else you know, and come back and check out our other episodes. We did one last week if you didn't see it. On Thursdays, we're always coming up with more podcasts and things like that on hot topics that people want to talk about when it comes to all relationship stages, whether you're single, dating, engaged, or married. And write in your questions, because we love processing and talking through in our team of things that are most important to you. We hope you have a blessed day, and we can't wait for our next chat. It's been another great talk on this episode of One True Talks by Renee Richell. I look forward to our next chat. Please write in your questions and comments so I can be sure to talk about whatever it is you want to discuss in our next upcoming episode. Lots of love. God bless. XOXO.